Welcome to Realizing Real Estate. Each week we will be issuing a new edition, an interview with an investor, developer, business leader, government official, scholars, and others, all who in some way impact the world of real estate and the quality of your investment. Real estate has many facets. We will explore many of them in these brief podcasts. Every one of our guests will be interviewed in greater depth and length on our weekly radio show, Our House, which is broadcast every Saturday at 9 a.m. on WBEN 9:30 a.m. and 98.5 FM HD3 in the Buffalo Niagara Marketplace, but is accessible anywhere in the world on the Odyssey app or at WBEN.com. All of Realizing Real Estate podcasts are available at the iTunes Store, and our House radio shows are archived on our blog at huntrealestate.com. Join us every week and give us your feedback and suggestions for future topics, also at huntrealestate.com. Welcome to Realizing Real Estate. This is Peter Hunt, and this podcast series is designed to do one thing, and that's help you protect and enhance your investment in real estate. And to help us with that topic today is David Weber, the president of Hunt Insurance. Good morning, David.
Good morning, Peter.
Just tell us a little bit about your background first, and that how you got into the insurance industry, and what is it that attracts you to that business?
So I've been in the insurance business for 30-something years. I started in the business in an independent agency model. What attracted me is just basically it was after college I decided that I wanted to pursue this industry. Friends and family were involved. Liked the idea of the insurance business overall, and I've never left it.
The vision of the organization is always there for you. Insurance has to fit in there because that is one of the things that has to always be there for you. I mean, we're involved in the transaction, the mortgage, title insurance. Those are events. And once that event is concluded, the lingering impact of the relationship is through insurance for the most part, as it pertains to their home.
Yes, and always there for you. The insurance, kind of the buzzword when people think of insurance, is protection. So our job is obviously to protect the home when we're talking about a real estate transaction. But again, as you mentioned, we're here for the lifelong term of the policy. So we're protecting people through auto, home, umbrella liability, things like that. And our goal is to be, for as long as the person needs insurance, we want to be there to protect them.
So let's look at that for a second, because insurance isn't as we mentioned earlier, it's not a one-time event. It's something they have to renew. What are the factors as I renew? What should I be looking at? I mean, what do you ask clients to consider, whether it's their home, their car, life insurance, the umbrella liability policy? What do you ask them to consider, say, a year from the date that you issue the insurance?
Well, we certainly encourage them after we've written the policy, anytime there's a life change. So they're looking at new vehicles, new homes, they have a young driver, they may have just gotten their license. All those things will affect your insurance. So throughout the process of having that policy, we want to know when things like that happen. It could be a renovation to the home. Again, buying a new vehicle, things like that. All those things definitely affect the insurance. So we keep communication with our customers open throughout the year.
So let's say I've got my homeowners, I've got my car with you. I also have a mortgage, and I said a mortgage insurance policy is something generally the banks like to sell because it declines in value over time. What would you recommend to someone if they want to protect, obviously, against loss for their family? Should they something happen to them? What's the best way to do that?
Yeah, so we would definitely recommend the purchase of a life insurance policy at that time, specifically in the amount of their mortgage. But it's one of those things that people don't think often about. And once we talk about protecting the mortgage, usually it turns into additional product offerings that they hadn't thought about, whether it's term policies for one or two individuals in the house. It could be a small policy that they want to start on children. But it does open up the conversation. It kind of opens up their eyes.
So kind of in conclusion, if I'm looking at my own insurance world, I'm really looking at from my side of the equation, I'm looking at fundamentally two things. Life events. I buy a home. I buy a car. I have a child. My child goes off to school. They get a driver's license. All those kinds of life events. And then my own life, obviously. Something happens to me, I want to make sure that my heirs are okay. So it's really kind of it's not a one-time event. It's not a one-issue event. It's a layer, isn't it? As you look at this, you look at a client and say, okay, what's the total package here that this person will need?
Yes, that's how we look at it up front. So we try to anticipate what they may need in the future. Obviously, there's some immediate things they need to close on the house and policies they need at the time. But we encourage them through communication throughout the policy term for any life changes to make sure that we're kept abreast of what's going on in the situation.
This is a complex issue. So if our listeners wanted to learn more, how would they reach you, and what kind of questions should they be asking?
Well, based on what's going on in the world, it's a great time to review your insurance policies. In the past, people, it really was not something they look forward to for sure, but it's not something that they did every year. Now with rate increases and carrier, a little bit of chaos in the industry, it's a great time to at least talk. And we talked about a second look program for Hunt Mortgage. Hunt Insurance also offers a second look program. So we would do a comprehensive, thorough review of what someone has and then make the appropriate recommendations. The way to get a hold of us is through the huntrealestate.com website, through the insurance agency tab, and they can also contact me directly at 716-472-0020 or at david.weber@insurewithhunt.com.
David Weber, president of Hunt Insurance, thank you for helping us walk through that minefield, which I know people are aware of today, given everything that's going on, helping our listeners to realize more about real estate. We'll be back again next time with more from Realizing Real Estate, from us to you. Thank you very much.